Greetings, greetings from Jamaica. This makes a change for, well, not for the last few weeks, but it's certainly different from our normal Black History conversations. So I'm Liz Millman, Director of Learning Links International, and I'm doing Black History conversations here with a couple of colleagues. I've got Jackie Pennant joining me from Florida. Jackie was actually in Jamaica with us during the visit that we made from Wales to Jamaica. So all very exciting stuff. So this special edition of Black History Conversations is going to be about sharing information on what we've been doing and putting it all into context so that from our point of view, we'll be able to share the recording of this session with many other people who've been supporting us and helping us, facilitating this wonderful opportunity that we were given with Welsh Government funding through the Tithe project. So we've also got a friend and colleague Helen joining us at the moment, and other people will join later on. I have a confession to make. I've got the time wrong in England, so probably they'll all be joining in about an hour. So not to worry. Apologies for that, folks. Okay, then. So I'm going to share the screen now. I'm also, just before I do that, say a big thank you to Simon Faringo, who joins us every week at the beginning of our sessions, switches on the recording and leaves us to it. He's a very brave person, really, but he has other commitments at this time of day at the moment, so not to worry then. So Simon, thanks very much indeed for doing what you're doing. Okay then, so to share the presentation, and I'm going to put it on the big screen so we can all see what we're doing. And yes, it's been quite a journey, quite a journey. So, building bridges of friendship. The Jamaica-Wales Alliance has brought many organisations together to travel on a journey to explore our shared history, including, and wow, what a lot of logos we found to include, to say thank you to all these organisations who are involved in what we've been doing. There could be many more too, so we're working on this. But the bridges that we've got at the top are a bridge in Maypen, the well-known, very narrow Meccano type bridge, amazing, and also the Menai Suspension Bridge. Now, I have a sneaking feeling that these two bridges might be of similar ages because they're both in need of repair and modernisation. So interesting, though, to see that. So the Menai Bridge stretches across from the mainland, Gwynedd, in North Wales, over to the island of Anglesey. And it's the only way to get onto the island of Anglesey, along with one other bridge that's the Britannia Bridge. So 2 ways over to Anglesey from Gwynedd. But the bridge in Maypen goes across the River Mino. So that's an important river in this area, and the longest river in Jamaica, I understand. So, right, the Jamaica-Wales Alliance has been going for quite a few years now. It was first started with a Jamaican colleague, a colleague here in Jamaica, Jonathan Greenland, Dr. Jonathan Greenland, and Jonathan is the director of the Museum of Jamaica here. He's actually from Penarth in South Wales. So we talked about how we could bring folks together from Wales and Jamaica, and we thought we'd work it under the title, the Jamaica-Wales Alliance. So a lot of people have joined us since then. So we've got going around the screen, the North Wales Jamaica Society, with its lovely red dragon, of course, with our lovely Welsh dragon, and also Learning Links International, the organisation that I'm one of the directors. Simon's another director, and we've managed 3 more directors in Wales, and directors in other parts of the country, wider UK and world. And then we've got going along that row, we've got Kingo Dinas Bangor, the City Council of Bangor, who are now signed up to support building bridges of friendship with May Pen. We've also got the Fire and Rescue Service from North Wales, and we'll hear a bit more about that later on, perhaps with the exciting developments to see if we can get a reconditioned fire engine for May Pen. Tithe are our main funders for exchange visits of adult learners studying on our Exploring Our Shared History Between Wales and Jamaica programme. This is a very interesting approach. It's non-formal. People join us on Zoom. People get out and visit places for themselves. People research, people read up things, but we all come together to share our findings, our understanding, and move ourselves forward as we explore this project. And then we've got the logo of the Jamaican crest. So we've included that because we've also included the Welsh Government's recognition because they're funding the Tithe project. Then we've got Clarendon Municipal Corporation. I had a meeting again with them yesterday. That was great. Also our partners, the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, Jamaica Memory Bank. So that's a great support to us, and you'll hear more about that later. Rotary International have also been a great support. And again, yesterday I was at a Rotary meeting here in May Pen. We're also thanking 2 organisations in Wales who are going to be much more actively involved in the future, but we're involved in our exchange visits as some of the participants. So Cor y Penrhyn, Bethesda, and Newydd Ogwyn. So quite a range of support there. Now we're going forward to have a look at the next slide when I manage to change over. So this presentation was given to a large gathering, a dinner of local dignitaries and Rotarians and others from May Pen and Clarendon, also along with our delegation visit. So I wasn't able to share this presentation then, so I'm sharing it now so that people will have a chance to click onto Black History Conversations and find about this, find out just what the slides look like that I based my presentation on that evening. So greetings, Noswaith Dda. Good evening to you all. Thanks to you, my fellow Rotarians, for organising this dinner to enable us to introduce ourselves to so many of you from Clarendon. Thanks to you all for taking time to be here this evening. I just have to explain at this point that the heavens opened about 3 hours before the session, so the conditions on the roads were really quite difficult. So people who actually managed to get there had done really well, but a number of people weren't able to join us. So this is another opportunity to say to you, welcome to this presentation, recognising the wonderful things that have happened during the last few years as we built the bridges of friendship between North Wales and Jamaica. So we're from Wales, not about Wales. I get quite a lot of email correspondence about Wales with an H. So this is just to point that out. We're from Wales, the place with the dragon. And we have guests from other places who've flown in and take part in our activity programme. Thank you. And a few of us came on earlier to prepare and do some research. And actually sitting in on this recording is Jackie Pennant, who flew in from Florida to join us. So Jackie, we were just so grateful for that. And your contribution was just brilliant. Now, Clarendon has a special history with Gwynedd, North Wales, a difficult history that needs to be better understood and shared. Over many years, the North Wales Jamaica Society and Learning Links International have developed links and friendships with folks in Jamaica. Now we're trying to transform this history to create bridges of friendship between our communities in North Wales and Jamaica supported by the Jamaica-Wales Alliance. Dr. Lomalu Ramakan is our patron, and His Excellency Seth George Ramakan and Lola came to North Wales at our invitation in 2018. And there you can see the High Commissioner presenting the Mayor of Bangor with a gift, a token from Jamaica. And you can see there Lola in her gorgeous colours, also the Lord Lieutenant of Gwynedd, along with the High Sheriff and other dignitaries who came to join us. On that occasion in Bangor, the High Commissioner and his wife were able to go to Bangor Archives, and there you can see some of the archival documents spread out, and that was a wonderful opportunity. They also had an opportunity to visit Penrhyn Castle, this huge monument of folly to, not sure what I can say it's to, but we'll explore that later. Then a visit to the Denbigh Show. Now, the Denbigh Show takes place on one day a year in the county of Denbigh, and it's very similar to the Denbigh Show here in Jamaica. But in Jamaica, the show lasts for 3 days and perhaps is more similar to our Royal Welsh Show. Now, Councillor Dr. Salamatu Fada formally presented a beautifully framed letter which extended an invitation to the Mayor of Maypen from the Mayor of the City of Bangor to develop a friendship relationship with the aim of elevating the relationship to an official twin town status after 5 years. So that's an extremely special thing. A delegation of us went to ask the council in Bangor if they would agree to this, and sure enough they did. So that presentation went very well. Now, TITHE is Wales's international learning exchange programme. It's creating life-changing opportunities to learn, study and volunteer all over the world. The TITHE project is funded by the Welsh Government, so you can look that up on www.tithe.cymru. And Learning Links made a successful application for Pathway 1 funding from TITHE, supported by the North Wales Jamaica Society and the Institute of Jamaica Memory Bank, as well as the Pennants Heritage Research Group, to develop Building Bridges of Friendship, exploring the shared history of the Wales and Jamaica project. So we're the accountable body for this funding for cultural exchange, as well as for an additional Pathway 1 project for youth exchanges. And that'll be providing opportunities for families to explore their Jamaican cultural heritage. And we were able to meet up with and spend time with the preliminary visit duo who were with us as well in Jamaica. So that was a great opportunity. And they were able to plan for these future youth exchanges. Now, TITHE is the Welsh for journey. You're invited to come on a journey to Jamaica with the Learning Links team, supported by the North Wales Jamaica Society, and as I said, under the banner of the Jamaica-Wales Alliance. So I'm just welcoming to this session Dr. Barrington Richardson, the Director of Education or Regional Director, Barrington Richardson. So Barrington's with us today. Thank you very much indeed, John, for joining us. So, so now you understand a little bit more about how a big group of us were over in Jamaica exploring the shared history. This is how we express it in an illustration. We have our language in Wales, of course, Welsh, and we have English. And in Jamaica, of course, there's Jamaican patois, the way that Jamaicans communicate on an everyday basis and then move along the continuum to standard English when they're communicating with someone like me. Okay, so that's our flyer that we've been promoting this project with. So it's been a whirlwind of a ride so far. We're all adult learners exploring this shared history of Wales and Jamaica, and you know what the aim is. So I think we've made that quite clear to everyone. So, Regional Director of Education in Clarendon, Barrington Richardson, not only has just joined us in this conversation, but he's also joined us in October for a week in Wales, immersing himself in our culture and visiting schools, as well as assisting with preparations for this first delegation visit to Jamaica. At this point, I think I might stop the sharing and just ask Barrington, are you able to join us talking at the moment, Barrington?
Yes, sure.
Right. Except that the phone link, I think, is flaky at the moment. So I think, Barrington, if it's okay, I'll carry on with the presentation, and then
Okay, I will change the instrument. I'm ready.
okay. So on we go. Right, when Barrington was with us, this is Barrington with a whole crowd of the delegation folks in Bangor. We had a reception welcome from the Lord Lieutenant and the High Sheriff of Gwynedd. So we've got the Lord Lieutenant and the High Sheriff. So that was marvellous. And we were all able to learn more about Jamaica and learn more about the forthcoming delegation visit. So one of our many sessions that we had to get the group together. And while Barrington was in Wales, he was able to visit here. We're at Denby High School with the principal there, and also at Glenkeggin, a primary school in Bangor. So that was two of the 6 schools we managed to visit during that time. So that was a fantastic opportunity. Okay, so what about this Penrhyn Castle? Gosh, it's huge, isn't it? As somebody said, it's bigger than Buckingham Palace. That's something. And this castle was built by the Pennant family using the wealth that they had generated in Jamaica from their 6 plantations and pens. And eventually, by the mid 1700s, they'd returned to, well, not returned because the people who, Pennant family members who came to Wales had been born in Jamaica. So they came to Wales and they started an amazing dynasty, which included also developing the area. There were several judicious marriages over time, and estates were brought together, and they were able to also create massive wealth from the slate quarries in Snowdonia, which were part of the lands that they owned. So we've got Leslie and Johnny here and other members here. We went to meet the National Trust at Penrhyn Castle to talk about how to better share the story of how the wealth was created to build this massive folly. Now, Bangor University Archives, that's another important element in our story. So here you can see that Bangor University have put online the accounts of Thomas River, Cupis, Denby and Coates Pen Estate. They've also put online materials from Pennants and probably, we haven't checked this yet, from Kings Valley. So in all, about 6 estates, but estates change names, and Thomas River may possibly have been the name for the Pennants estate at one stage. Okay, so I'm also welcoming Coy Roach to this session. Now, the delegation was here in Jamaica. We were joined by other friends and colleagues, But on the day I'm talking about, the day that I made this presentation for, we enjoyed a Jamaican Eisteddfod with wonderful singing, music and performance poetry. And congratulations to all involved. It was such great fun. Absolutely amazing. The choir were wonderful. And the good news is that we had a film crew with us. So we're going to be able to share lots more of this visit with people in Wales. And that's really important. The picture on the far right, a wonderful piece of performance poetry, one of Louise Bennett's poems performed there. Also, we had an opportunity for some music and fun, and you can see members of the delegation dancing along there with others from the choirs and presentations. But just to explain what Eisteddfod is in Wales. Okay, so you can see why Eisteddfod is a really, really big event. It's a big part of our cultural heritage in Wales. And there we've got perhaps the Archdruid, I'm not sure who it is who's speaking, and he's preparing to present the crown to the poet or author who will be presented with the chair from the Eisteddfod. This photograph's from a few years ago, I have to confess, but we've also got a photograph there of some of us enjoying a jolly good time at the Eisteddfod. This particular one was held in Cardiff, and there's the Mayor of Bangor wearing his Jamaican T-shirt. Many, many thanks for that. So that's lovely. So I'm just trying to admit Michelle Pierpoint. That's really lovely. Okay, so Corey Roach, welcome to you. I see you've joined, and welcome to Michelle as well. That's lovely. But thanks to so many people, too many to list. But special thanks go to our partner, Dr. Kurt Henry from the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, Jamaica Memory Bank, who'll be joining us in Wales shortly to visit and continue to build bridges of friendship. And thanks to the amazing Barrington Richardson, MC, for this event I've been reporting on at present, and the best friend we could have. Thanks to the Rotary Club of Maypen, especially Dr. Walter Lavelle, for your ongoing support and organising the dinner. And thanks to Corey Roach and our patron, Dr. Lola Ramakan, Chair and Patron of the Jamaica Wales Alliance Penance Project Committee. And thanks as ever go to Dr. Vivian Crawford, who's been a real supporter with us on Black History Conversations. So here we are with our PowerPoint finished. We just end on that one, show that we're back to the beginning, and I'm going to stop sharing there, and just to welcome you all. That's really lovely that we're here. So perhaps I'll first of all go to you, Jackie, if you're still with us. Perhaps you tell us about a highlight for you coming over and joining the delegation. Not sure if Jackie's with us at the moment.
I'm here, Liz, sorry.
Oh, lovely, it's okay.
Okay, so for me, the highlight of the trip, wow, many highlights. I think going up to Penance has to be the highlight for me, because it was, part of the delegation, but also personally part of going back to where my family are from. The school children, at the basic school and the primary school. Wonderful reception we received there. Very emotional. And just seeing this bridge being built, with my own eyes, really just having an opportunity to, be in Wales, see the beginnings of this, and see that this has come to fruition, that we have started to build this bridge. It really, it's really changed the way I look at, what I do and how I do things. And as far as, there's work to be done, but it can be done. Patience. Thank you, Liz Millman. I don't think you get enough thanks for all you have done you know,
True.
because you do not. And so, you know, really, thank you, Liz. And you know, the bridge is being built, and you know, it's for us to continue the work that you've started and to continue building this solid bridge of friendship.
Thanks so much, Jackie. And yes, it was emotional. It was very emotional to go to Penance. I haven't been to Penance in 6 years because of COVID and other reasons. And to go up and meet with friends. We've lost one of our very good friends there, an active member of the committee, Clifford Headley. His widow, Leonora, was there to welcome us. That was amazing. We had we had also Lorna join us, and that was just beautiful. Along with Iva, and they'd organised the in the community centre for a large group of the community to join us. There must have been 15 or 20 people dropped in and out during the time that we were there. We were able to see some of the works that were needed to be done at the community centre. And then we were also able to be led in prayer by Lorna's sister, which was an important recognition for those of us who are faith-based and those of us who aren't. And then we had the opportunity to go to see for ourselves the work that's needed on Robert Rumble's tomb, which is just next door, and to think about some of the ideas about how we can possibly create a heritage area there. That would be fascinating. So then we were then had a chance to go to the basic school, a brief visit there. And do you know that Gilbert Watkins has taken a little crocodile hand puppet and he's living his best life in Penance now because he left it there. So that's really lovely that Gilbert thought about doing that for the children. And we were so grateful because everybody else in the delegation had contributed toys. We had a massive case full of toys that we took with us and goodies, and those have been now distributed between the school and the basic schools. And then we went on to Penance, John Austin All Age School, or it's called now John Austin Primary School, and we had a good opportunity to go around the classrooms there, and also to welcome Coy Roach, who arrived with a car full of musical instruments. So we had such a wonderful selection of musical instruments delivered. Now, this was all thanks to Johnny and Phillida Lloyd's contribution to development of our projects in Penance. We opened a couple of cases and found, I think we found a flute, and that was donated by Johnny's family. But the other items had been purchased. There was a trombone and a trumpet, I think a saxophone, and then they were all carefully packed back into your car, Coy, and then delivered to the community centre, where I can only say that probably miracles happened, because by the time we got round there with the coach to the community centre just to check up if the musical instruments had arrived safely, we were greeted by a couple of guys coming out playing the instruments. It was absolutely wonderful. So, Coy, maybe I can go to you next and ask if you're able to talk. What did you feel about that visit up to Penance last Thursday? Not sure if Coy's able to come through at the moment, but we'll come back to you, Coy. So, Michelle, Michelle Pierpoint, how are you? Back in Wales, and I'm still in Jamaica. I can't hear you at the moment, Michelle, because you're muted.
Sorry, I know, I'm jealous.
Well, you wouldn't be jealous of the weather. I say it's rained a lot this week.
Oh, really?
It's really been an unusually late to wet season. Anyway, Michelle, what did you think about going up to the village of Penance?
I thought it was fascinating because there is a lot to be done there, obviously, with the schools and with other things, but the children look so happy and they were so welcoming, the children themselves, because sometimes children are scared when new people come, but they were really pleased to see us, and that was the highlight of Pennant for me. And obviously, I've got a photograph which I'll put on the group of Jackie with the boy who's got the second name Pennant as well. So that was lovely. And it was just, I don't know, it felt like we'd known them forever. The teachers, the children, and they were all very smart. Yeah,
That's
it was very nice, very good.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, I'm just asking Coy if you're hearing us again. Coy, hi, how are you? We're just talking about that wonderful moment when the musicians appeared and started to play.
Ah, I'm having problems having pop-ups on my computer. You have to get rid of them. Yeah, that was a beautiful experience, and um, I was glad I stayed back to collect the instruments so we could have that experience. And just the look on Ivar's face must be like it was the best thing ever happened to him.
I think it possibly could have been. It was so extraordinary. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Coy, for all your help and support, facilitating our delegation over in Jamaica. I mean, just remarkable the support you've given us, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, truly.
Oh,
I'm
I
getting lots of
collected
thanks,
there
but I pass them on.
there were 4 drums because the amount of stuff we took fill the back of my vehicle. I had to put down the seats and all that. But there are 3 drums which I could not take. So I collected them yesterday. I have them at my house now. So I'll get them to Ivor sometime over the weekend or next week.
Right. Well, if I can say, Coy, we've actually got a really good link now in May Pen, because yesterday the CEO, Clarendon's CEO, Rohan Blake, organised a driver to take me up to Pennants. And he actually lives in Pennants. His name's Gary. So he will deliver anything, anytime, Coy, that we need taking up to Pennants. So
Okay, good.
if you want to transfer the instruments to hit the drums to his car to save you going up to Pennants, or whether you're happy enough to take them up there yourself, because I know that road is getting worse every day. The rain
The
is
road.
really hitting the
Yeah.
road. Mm.
No, I can get them there. I can get them to Chapelton so Ivor can pick them up. Stop the
Oh,
road.
that would be wonderful. That would be really, really great. Well, I'm sure he'd be so delighted. Yeah, just really lovely. And I had an opportunity yesterday, Coy, to meet up with Ivor again and Lorna just very briefly by the time I got there. But also I'd spent quite a good bit of time talking with Mr. Williams, the principal of the school. So that was wonderful as well. So thank you very much indeed again for that. So that's amazing. Now let's see if Barrington's got a better connection this time.
Can you hear me, Liz? Better
I
now?
can hear you loud and clear, Barrington, now. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Let me say hello to everyone.
Wonderful. We're all here. Barrington, I don't know if you were on at the very beginning of the session, but I actually got the time wrong in the UK. Um, and, and so people may be joining in the next hour. So I don't think we'll keep going that long, though. I've got things to do today. But I have to say, this delightful garment I'm wearing, I'm just telling you, Barrington, this was a gift
Yes.
from Ian Crawford for me. So I'm wearing my special Jamaican outfit today for this. Barrington, I
Awesome,
can't thank
awesome.
you enough for all the things that you did. So do you want to tell us about yesterday's visits, both to Alley Church and to Denby Showground?
All right. Yes, indeed. We had the opportunity to visit the St. Peter's Alley Church, located in Alley, Clarendon. I think it's over approximately 300 years old. And one of Liz's desire was to see if the slate that was used to roof the church, if there was any residue of it anywhere. And thanks be to God, we were able to find a pile of the slate, of which Liz will be taking back home a few pieces. For me, when I was in Wales and I went to the mountains, it looks exactly the same. And so that was a fact finding, and to see how connected we are, even as we explore the shared history. Um, and then we went to the Denby Showground, where we were able to get two persons to carry us around just to see if there's any connection as well. We saw the boiling, uh, is it the boiling pot or something
Boiling
like that?
house, yeah, the sugar
House,
boiling
right,
house.
right. And a part of that building would have been built with bricks over the many years, and they were able to preserve that structure. So we continue to explore monuments that would point us to what would have existed years ago on the various plantations. So it's really eye-opening. There are persons who are now saying, we will continue to search. And when we find something, we will contact you and let you know and send you pictures. So the conversation is on the ground, it is ongoing, and we're looking forward to greater research and greater findings.
Thanks so much, Barrington, for just outlining what we were able to do yesterday. And it was quite remarkable because the boiling house has never been accessible before, but it's now so derelict we were able to get inside. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Of course, my phone has switched itself off now, but I'm just going to show. Barrington sent me some photographs today of the inside the boiling house, and it's absolutely remarkable because the places where the sugar was reduced down, the boiling pots, chambers, whatever you call them, are actually quite are still there. It's quite remarkable. So I was really delighted. That was a real find, because what Leslie Evans has found in her research, and by the way, Leslie gave a talk yesterday I think it was yesterday, she gave a talk at Bangor University about her findings, because she's recording all the names of the enslaved people who worked on the plantations owned by the Pennants. And in her research, she found that a request to Lord Penrhyn for slate for that boiling house at Denby, the sugar boiling house, because so great was the heat in the boiling house that it kept setting the roof on fire. And every time they were doing a boiling session, they had to have people on the roof pouring water constantly on the roof to keep it saturated, to stop it burning. So he was requesting slate to be sent from Wales to roof that building. And look, as much as we could, it's very overgrown. We couldn't actually find any examples of that slate, but that was another part of the slate story. So it was truly remarkable. And I thank you very much indeed for helping with that, Barrington. But Barrington, I don't know if you want to make some comments overall about the visits and the way that the project's going. I was talking to Simon Faringo, who sets these sessions up for us, one of our Learning Links International directors before, and he said how important it is to always have folks on the ground who are the facilitators, the local facilitators for delegation visits. And I can't tell you how important that role was, both for you, for Coy, and for Walter, who really kept things together for us. And I am really, really grateful. And that's a learning curve for us to recognise the role rather than perhaps be asking, can you do this, can you do that? We need to work that pattern out for future visits. So is there anything else you want to add at the moment, Barrington? Are you there at the moment, Barrington?
Yes,
Or
Liz.
oh,
I
right,
am.
okay.
Right.
Is
So
there
thanks
anything
for the
else?
opportunity once again to share my own thoughts and reflection on the visit by the team. It was just awesome. It's just very impactful. We were happy to have the team just delving into our own culture, and for us to have the opportunity to have those interactions. It was really, really profound, and to recognize as well that we are so connected. We have so much in common than we have that is different. Uh, for us on this side, it is really something that we are looking forward to, just to see how this bridge is coming alive, block by block, or we could say brick by brick. I think we have laid the solid foundation on which to build. I really also admire the momentum that has been sustained since the team went back home. The chat is lighting up every day with new updates and new developments. I just want to say, on behalf of our Jamaicans, and more so the citizens of Clarendon, how grateful we are for this kind of interest. I mean, there's nothing that ties us by blood, but by history, it has become in a way that we feel like family. And that is what we want to take away from this. We have extended families, and then we appreciate the partnership. As I shared with you, Liz, and I would want to share here as well, um, that this is becoming a substantial project that will require some level of project planning, documenting and recording and monitoring. And so I am extending my own expertise in that area to see if we can capture what we are doing and what we intend to do on a project timeline so that we can see what we are doing, build out quarter by quarter so we don't trip over ourselves, that we have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of emerging initiatives, but we want to be impactful.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you're saying.
Plan
Sure why you
so that
stopped.
we
Yeah.
can streamline.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what's happening with the link with you. I totally agree. Barrington discussed this with me in a phone call last night, and it's certainly something that will bring the bigger project along. We've got our project plan for our tithe funded visits, but we haven't got a project plan for the bigger project of building bridges of friendship, which has been work in progress for a number of years now. Are you there again, Barrington? No, the line's gone. Coy, I don't know if you're available, accessible at the moment. Are you there, Coy?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Coy, what about some reflections from you about the overall experience of perhaps this last couple of weeks?
Eye-opening.
Good
And
way of
and and I love the camaraderie that we enjoyed throughout the period.
I think in terms of building friendship, that's so important, and I really appreciated the extra mile you've gone to, you know, involve us, whether as the smaller group or a bigger group, in activities. It's just been so welcome, Coy. Thank you so much.
Yes, and as Barrington said just now, he likes the carry on that's going on. I know that Jeff and Mike has a tremendous enthusiasm and they seem motivated to get their fire engine. But we hope to keep track of the other stuff. I'm supposed to meet with Eureka, so we
Right.
can plan better the activities there.
Mm.
And Vivian, we need a design for what we want at the Robert Rumble tomb.
Yes,
We
yes,
need a
that's
design
really
for that.
yeah, needs to be some real thought put into that.
I've designed furniture and things like that, but I don't know if I can design a grave. It's not too kind of
A
finite there,
memorial,
but
a memorial.
that's not an expertise in your own to get into, really.
Well, I'm sure we'll find someone who's going to guide us in that direction. In fact, Dr. Jonathan Greenland, who's the director of the Museum of Jamaica, actively wants to be involved.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll maybe come up with you one time for a special scoping visit on that element of the project. So just to explain that the Jamaica Wales Alliance Penance Project Committee is chaired by Coy Roach. And we had a meeting this week, our regular meeting. We brought forward a day. We had it on Wednesday, 9 o'clock in the morning here. And we were able to go through a whole lot of points and agenda items covering the different things that we're doing, because at the moment we've got 6 funded projects going on in Penance. We recognise that 2 of them have been signed off, if you like, and that is the student funding for Totnelia, and the musical instruments, of course, are now arrived, so they're ticked off on the list. So the Penance, John Austin Primary School, had a long meeting yesterday with Mr. Williams, Coy, and I was able to establish just what he has achieved in his 6 years there as principal. The numbers in the school have increased dramatically. There were 100 children when he first went and 180 now, because the school's got such a good reputation of getting children moved on to either Glenmuir or maybe Clarendon College. So that really, you know, that's what this is all about, success for the youth in Penance, give them opportunities to really succeed. So that was very interesting. We also had a jolly good look at the kitchen area again, that Jason and Jeff from our delegation, that they are going to raise some funds to improve. And Barrington has agreed that the food program manager for Clarendon school's food program manager for Clarendon is going to go out there and is going to do the design that's necessary. Agree with the cook and 2 cooks there, I think, that what will suit them best. It's a very cramped space with no potential for expansion, so just have to deal with what we've got. But it's it'll be a much better facility to build, to prepare breakfasts and also lunch for the children, and perhaps also for others in the community who would appreciate a a good cooked lunch. Who knows? There's a lot of potential coming out of this project, potential that we might not have previously realised. So the meeting with Mr. Williams was very, very useful and informative, and we're looking forward to an engagement. But I said, Mr. Williams, not interference. We're not interfering with what you're doing. And I think that's a really important message. We're engaging with people. We can have ideas, but we know perfectly well that you folks here in Jamaica are perfectly capable of making your own decisions. It's just that sometimes you don't have the funding to be able to do that. And the funding is the aspect that we want to look at and encourage more folks from North Wales to help and to be involved in this, as we learn about your country and we benefit greatly from that. In my conversations yesterday with Rohan Blake, the Chief Executive Officer of Clarendon Metropolitan Council, that he made that very clear, that he only wants a partnership that's two-way, because he feels that Clarendon has got a lot to offer to Gwynedd. So I've just sent off an email today to the Chief Executive of Gwynedd Council to introduce the two of them, because he's got ideas of areas where they would appreciate some help and guidance from others who are involved in particular aspects of their work, as well as feeling that they've got stories to share, work to share with our colleagues in Gwynedd. So we've also, we're looking forward to moving forward with the partnership between the two mayors. We've got Mayor Joel Williams met again with me yesterday, and we discussed possibilities of moving, forging the links of the friendship, and that was very interesting. So I'll be talking to the Mayor of Bangor, Gareth, talk to him and catch up. But also we had, as part of the delegation, which was just brilliant because she's been a part of our learning programme for quite some time, and that's Dr. Salamatu Fada, Dr. Councillor Salamatu Fada. So she will also be reporting back, and she was able to, of course, to present the letter outlining the willingness of Bangor Council to engage with the Bridges of Friendship project at the dinner. So that was really useful. So lots of good stuff then. So I'll just go around the screen one more time and see if anybody's got anything else to add, and then we'll get on with the rest of our day. So Jackie, anything else you want to add?
I just appreciate you bringing up about two-way collaboration between the two, because yes, there's funding coming in and things coming to Pennants and to Clarendon, but what are we getting from Clarendon and Pennants? What are we learning? What are we, because part of my my surprise, I guess, was what I took away for myself. You know, what I took away, the resilience of the community, the leadership in the community, the joy of the children, the beauty of the space, all of that. So there was a lot for me that I need to get from Clarendon and from the area, from the Pennants area and so on. So yes, there was a lot for us to learn also from the area. So thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. And I think, yes, that is also important. And going back to that meeting that we had with the National Trust, it is so important that this story is told honestly. And if that's the learning that we get to put into context what on earth we're doing with having this great castle just outside Bangor, that's good in its own right. Okay then, so Coy, is there anything else you want to add?
No, just want to look at what Jackie said about the children. I was so amazed at how they were not shy at all. I think Michelle made that point. I just looked at them, they were beautiful, happy children. So we just need to enhance their learning by our support so that they can become productive men and women. But they're including the little boy who spoke for the first time.
Just an amazing story.
I was proud of them, and they represented us quite well.
That's wonderful, Coy, and that again is so important. So we've had some further discussions about the Penance Education Empowerment Project, which was spelled PEEP, Penance Education Empowerment Project, which will give people in North Wales or anywhere else the opportunity to contribute something on a regular basis, which will then be managed by a small local group in Pennant. And this will include the primary school and the basic school, possibly support for children going out to secondary provision, and also perhaps older people who are studying, like Tothnelia, and perhaps need some help with fees, etc. there. A sort of a sponsorship program, but probably not through individual to individual, but through the committee. And Mr. Williams was saying that there are a lot of needs, and they do their best to meet extra needs that families might have. So I think it will dovetail very well into that idea. So, Coy, you chair the Penance Project Committee meeting every Thursday at 9 o'clock here in Jamaica, and we had that meeting, and I mentioned the project then. But it's really important that we keep those meetings going, because that is the management structure for the project. We don't have a project plan, but as Barrington says, he's willing to put his skills and abilities into helping us formulate a project plan. We've more had a project meander over the last few years, because we've been waiting for the Douglas Pennant Family Foundation to make their financial contribution to the project. And while we've been waiting, we've managed to do a whole lot of other things that we would never have planned to do had we known we were going to be waiting for such a long time. So perhaps something good's come out of it. Okay, then. So thanks very much indeed, Coy. Thank you. Michelle, Coy?
What has become, remember before you came, I think the week before you came, you got a letter from them
Yes.
stating that they are willing to have a small amount, £25,000 for us to, as an experiment. Where are we with that one with them? Have you responded to them yet, or you haven't got the time? You've been busy.
Well, no, what I did was I delegated, and I actually asked Johnny Lloyd to respond, because it was an extraordinarily long, complex email, the result of the international charity consultancy that's been going on for the last 6 months, for them to be able to feel comfortable that they can honour their charitable agreements, arrangements. And the message that Johnny passed on was that we needed time to consider this, because we've got the delegation visit coming up, so they understand where they're at, and they've kept us waiting long enough so they can wait for their response. But I think next Thursday morning maybe we can address that email, if you'd like to have checked through it. I will as well, and Johnny too, and we'll then respond to them appropriately with your guidance. Thanks very much, Coy. That's a very good point to raise. Thank you.
All right.
Okay then, so we're just going around the screen just to wrap up now, but we've just been joined by June Elizabeth. So June Elizabeth, we can't miss out on an opportunity to say greetings. And how cold is it in the UK now?
Not too bad. About 11 degrees. Good afternoon,
Oh.
everyone. Yeah, I just had
Afternoon.
to sorry that I came in late. I thought it was the normal time, but it was a bit earlier. But I had just come out of a meeting with the Home Office because they're paying for me to come up there next Thursday to give them a presentation in Manchester.
Excellent.
Yeah, me and Glenda Caesar.
Elizabeth, just to explain, June Elizabeth's an ambassador for the Windrush. I'm not sure how you say it, June Elizabeth. I know you're a member of the Windrush National Organisation, but the Windrush, sometimes referred to as the Windrush scandal, or the scandal that the Home Office have created in reimbursing, compensating members of the Windrush generations who've been who were so badly affected. June Elizabeth's been working and campaigning with individuals for quite a long time. So I'll just put that bit in, June Elizabeth. You look as if you're on the phone again now already.
No, I'm not on the phone. I was just
Oh,
listening
sorry.
to you.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's all right. No,
Okay.
but in short, I'm an international Windrush advocate, consultant, trainer, and ambassador, and a stakeholder with the Home Office. So I cross all fields and I support everyone. And I'm just setting up a Windrush hub in Jamaica, and I've set one up in Bedford, Northampton. So we're looking to go to Hertfordshire. So when I set it up, the engagement team, the Windrush engagement team, they go out and kind of work directly with the communities. So they're looking forward to be working with Jamaica direct, connecting them. I've got those addresses for you, Liz, but I know
Wonderful.
you've been busy.
Now, June Elizabeth, it's Black History Conversations. We've been focused entirely on the visit to Jamaica. Now, you were able to fund your way and come over to Jamaica and join the delegation. That was really wonderful, as did Jackie. So it was great to have your additional support and enthusiasm. So just one highlight, June Elizabeth. Getting back to Jamaica, and I know you feel it is getting back to Jamaica because it's where you did your schooling. What was a highlight for you of your stay in Jamaica this time and involvement with this
As a
project?
special guest, my highlights was meeting the North Welsh delegation, the people that came over from Wales, and of course to meet the Jamaicans that I could from the Jamaican North Wales Alliance in the flesh and be able to give them a cuddle and going to Port Royal in the
Yes,
minibus.
that was pretty special, wasn't it?
Yes.
Getting to Port Royal before the storm came.
Yeah.
Dear me. For those of you who might not know, we had to spend a whole day in our hotel in Kingston because the storm came down on the island, and the office of the Prime Minister of Jamaica closed all public buildings and public offices. So it was really an interesting day, but we used it wisely. So thank you very much indeed, June Elizabeth. So Barrington, have you got anything that you want to add finally? You
You
there?
had a storm, you had an earthquake. You had a storm, you had an earthquake, and you had plenty rain.
I was actually on a phone call when the earthquake happened, and it was more obvious to the person who was watching me on the phone that the background was moving than it was for me just wondering why my chair was suddenly moving. But it's been quiet since then, thank goodness.
I was in church with Vivian Crawford
Ah,
when we had he was playing the organ. We were singing. Yeah.
right. Well,
Very
we're all grateful.
memorable.
Lovely. All right, last word from you then, Michelle.
I agree with Barrington and with Jackie about feeling part of a family, and what a nice visit it was. And I've learned so much before the visit, just looking up the castle, during the visit, and even afterwards. It's just seems to be lifelong learning now. And I'm very grateful and lovely to meet everybody.
Well, it's lovely, and it's lovely to have had your company in all the Zoom sessions you've joined over the last few months. It's just been amazing the last year or so. Thanks very much indeed then. Okay then, so right, I'm just going to just altered the view of the thing. Maybe we better go back to the gallery again. All right, thanks ever so much, everybody. Thank you very much indeed, Helen, for joining us from North Wales to find out what we've been up to. And thanks to all of you who have been participants, some of the participants. And oh, looks like there was an earthquake again, but I actually hit the computer as the screen shakes. It's been really great. So looking forward to catching up again next week. Now, next week, the session will start at 1:30 in the UK to be recorded from 2. So we'll make sure everybody knows, and I'll apologise to people who missed out on this session, but they can always hear the recording. So
Sorry,
excellent.
Liz. Is that on Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday next week.
Sorry. Friday.
Friday. Okay, thank you.
That's our regular slot. Okay, we go back to normal next week. Unfortunately, I have to leave Jamaica and I'm flying back on Saturday. So, but it's been great to do a lot of wrap up this week. It's been really wonderful. Okay, then. So, June Elizabeth, I'll catch up with you again shortly, I'm sure. And all the rest of you, thank you so much. And we'll just finish the recording now. And where do I have to find the right place here and record it to the cloud. That's lovely. That's great. And right, okay, we'll stop the recording now. All right then, all the best, everybody. Thanks very much for your time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
One love.